Welcome to episode 9 of BitesizeUGC. I'm CaptPFDennis, and with me is RogueEnterprise. Today we're taking a look at More Data Part 1, Theft of Honor by Hauriant, the first in a series arc, but a mission that functions well on its own. Let's start things off with a look at the story.
This mission takes several story cues from the first Trek movie, the motion picture, but isn't without nods to TNG as well. It's a bit overcomplicated, but involves androids, Klingons, Orions, and the possible discovery of the remains of the TMP character Ilya. Most of the plot is communicated through a series of tiered dialogue choices, many of which came with a just the facts option, which was appreciated but at times seemed a little funky in execution. There were sporadic typos throughout the dialogue, but it was only a minor distraction. The mission does wrap up nicely at the end, which is something we enjoy, especially on a plot this complex. A bit more polish on the plethora of dialogue would have been helpful though. We gave story 3 out of 5 stars.
Map design was solid, but there were a few areas where space was at a premium, especially in rooms that culminated in a boss-level encounter with a Klingon Dahar master, but more on difficulty later. Overall, the interior maps are pretty well designed, but not overly customized. Nobody wants to wait forever at a loading screen. The mission was also paced quickly enough where only a player looking for flaws would pick them up. Map design got 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Moving along to tech. A few items like disappearing doors and force fields dot the mission, but overall this is a much more plot-driven episode that doesn't depend on Foundry tricks to keep the player interested. The air of mystery took care of that nicely. We gave tech a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Difficulty was a little more of a mixed bag. A few times some tough boss-level mobs show up right on top of the player without much warning, making for some interesting combat. Nearly every enemy type in the game decides to make an appearance here, and there were even a few jokes about the Borg showing up as well, along with that captain-level Nausicaan wielding a nasty gun. Overall, aside from those few ill-spaced ground battles, combat was engaging enough to garner a 4 out of 5 star rating.
Let's take a look at the bite-sized breakdown for More Data Part 1, Theft of Honor by Hauriant. Please support STO's Foundry by logging in and giving it a try yourself.
Join us next week for our 10th episode. This has been BitesizeUGC.